The Housemaid's Secret by Frida McFadden. Okay, so this is the sequel to The Housemaid, which is being turned into a movie. It was a huge bestseller. And it's been a while since I've read The Housemaid. And I've read so many books in between that book and this book that I couldn't remember all the specific details of The Housemaid, but I remember the gist of it. So when I started reading The Housemaid's Secret, I was really confused because it sounded like the exact same storyline, the exact same story, the exact same characters. And I was like, wait a minute, what? And I had to like double, triple check that I was indeed reading a different book. And I think the most confusing part is this entire sequel doesn't reference what happened in the first book at all. So much so that you could read this book as a standalone book. Like it's a sequel, but it's not really a sequel. So then I was trying to figure out, well, is this a sequel? Is it a prequel? Is it an alternate story for these characters? I was so confused. But it's definitely a sequel because there is one other character in the book, Enzo, that carries over to this book, which indeed tells me that it is indeed a sequel. So anyways, once I was able to get past all of the confusion, I really got into the storyline. So like I said before, this story is very similar to the storyline in the first book, but somehow Frida McFadden still makes it really good and really engaging. I think the catcher is because it's pretty much the same story and it's written the same way, you kind of know what's happening, but the author still finds a way to make it exciting. So it's written in two parts, just like the first book. The first part is written from Millie's point of view. She's the main character. She's the same housemaid that was in the first book. And then the second part is written from the wife's point of view. So Millie is a housemaid for this very wealthy couple. And then, same storyline as the first one. Eventually she starts to realize that something's going on. The wife in this book really reminds me of the wife in Gone Girl. So if you liked that storyline, then I think you'd like this one. She plays the role of, oh, poor me, poor abused wife, and then, oh, scorned wife, and then like she's really good at that character. I will say I definitely started to feel for Millie in this book, like poor thing, and also the husband. I mean, who's the real victim in this book? The poor husband. And those last couple of chapters are filled with so many twists and turns. There was so many shockers, even though I kind of had an idea of what was going on. There were so many crazy things that happened. Just when you think that something crazy can't happen, like it's done, no, more crazy stuff happens. Which is very typical of Frida McFadden books, as we all know. I'm just left with two thoughts. The first one is, I'm still curious why they didn't mention anything that happened in the first book. It's weird. Second thing is, it got me really excited for the Housemaid movie that's coming out soon.